everyone. I am Dr.Nisha Kumari, Assistant Professor of School of Business, Aditya University. So today we are going to discuss about process of innovation. By the end of this particular lecture, we will be able to understand the stages involved in the innovation process and how to implement the generated ideas and how to develop the value-driven solutions. As well as we will be able to understand or analyze what are the internal and external factors are there influencing the innovations and how it's impacting the organizational creativity, competitiveness and innovation success. So coming up to the innovation process, while we talk about the innovation is all like about the creative idea which we had or generated plus implementation of that particular idea and delivering the value, or you can say generating the value or doing the value creation. Okay, so while we talk about the innovation, it is all about generating the creative ideas and implementing those ideas and creating the value for the users. When we talk about the innovation, it is all about from idea to impact, where idea is your creative aspect and impact in the life of the users. So the first step is the idea generation. By using the different ideation techniques such as the brainstorming, scamper, role playing, everything, or like research, or by exploring the entire market trends or the different scenarios or the societies or like organizations or the communities, we are going to generate the ideas which are going to address the real problem of the users, or the you can say the real need of the users. After that, we are going to do the screening part, because while we are generating the idea, we are not validating our idea, we are simply generating the ideas, how many are possibles. And later part, we are going to do the screening of the ideas based on the feasibility, viability, potential impact and the desirability. So while we are going to do the screening part, here we are going to screen the idea based on the feasibility, viability, potential impact and the desirability. When we talk about the feasibility, feasibility is about whether we can implement the idea with the available resources. When we talk about the viability, whether that particular idea can sustain in the market for longer run or not, whether it is really going to work for the longer term or not. When we talk about the potential impact, means whether it is going to make any difference in the life of the users or not. And last one is your desirability, whether the users are going to find worthy or ready to pay for the product or the service which we are going to introduce as the part of the solutions for the problem which we identified. So here we are going to assess the ideas based on their value, feasibility and the strategic fit, and whether it is really a best opportunity or whether it's really going to sustain in the market or not. After doing that, we are going to develop the concept, where we are going to refine the entire concept, the design, and by using the user insights, we are going to develop some kind of we are going to shape the idea, whichever the idea we validated in the previous stage, we are going to shape it in this particular stage by adding on the in detail things into that, and how we are going to implement by doing the entire planning we are going to do in this particular part. Then prototyping and testing. So while we are talking about the prototyping in testing, so in that what is happening, we are going to generate the cheaper model of the, in prototyping what we are going to do, we are going to generate the cheaper model of the final output which we want to introduce in the market. So in the prototyping and testing, what is happening, first we are creating the cheaper model, we call them, it can be like categorized in a different types of prototyping. One is your high fidelity and one is your low fidelity. So, based on the stage, based on the requirement, we are going to create the prototypes and then we are going to provide to the selected users, or you can say the representative users, to utilize or to use this particular product or the service, and based on their feedbacks, again what we are going to do, we are going to do the changes if it is required to make it lesser complex and to increase the efficiency of the idea. So, in prototyping and testing, what we are doing, first we are going to create the virtual model, you can say, or you can say like the sketch model, whatever the need is there based on the product or the service, whatever the solutions we are coming up with the. So, based on the requirement of that particular solutions, we are going to create the visualized model for that, whether it's a high fidelity, whether it's a low fidelity prototype, and that prototype we are going to give to our users, the representative users or the selected users, and based on their feedbacks and the observations of us while they are using the app or the like product or the service, whatever the things we observed or whatever the feedback they gave, based on those things we are going to improve our product, we are going to modify or we are going to do some changes in our product, so that it will reduce the gaps what or the complexities or the errors which users were facing. And after doing so, what will be happening, we are going to introduce our product in the market, and that step we call commercialization. When we are entering in the market with our product or the service. So, here after testing, what is happening, we are going to launch our product or the service in the market with the right strategy and messaging and go to market plan. After that, we are going to focus or we are going to do the diffusion part, where we are going to do again the innovation in the already introduced product or the service, to do the scaling up of the scaling up the usage of the product or the service to expand our business in the longer term. So, in diffusion we talk about the adoption and the expansion. So, whatever the new trends are coming, whatever the new needs are being generated of the users, we are going to understand that, we are going to adopt that, and we are going to work on that, and based on that part we are going to expand our business in the longer term. So, when we talk about the innovation process, first and foremost thing, it's a continuous process. So, while we are talking about the continuous process, from the beginning, from where we understand the gap or we identify the opportunity, from there generating the idea to solve that particular problem, to fill that particular gap, or to come up to utilize that particular opportunity which we identify, and then screening the idea based on the feasibility, viability and the desirability of that particular idea, and then we are going to develop the concept, means we are going to in detail, we are going to shape our entire idea in a form of the product or the service. After that, we are going to create the prototype and test that prototype with the users to understand is there any kind of errors, any kind of complexities, any kind of difficulties or the challenges are there which users are facing while they are using our products or service, or whether the purpose which based on what we created that particular prototype or like we want to come up with that particular product, whether it's really solving that particular identified problem or the purpose or not, that we will be able to understand at the stage of your prototyping and testing. And with the successful testing, what will be happening, we are going to launch our product or the service in the market, that we call commercialization, and then we are going to follow up in future whether we are is there any need, what kind of new trend is been there, what are new gap we identify, what are the new opportunities are available in the market. So, based on those things we are going to adopt and we are going to expand our business. So, while we talk about the innovation process, it is like user centric, and it is data informed decision. Whatever the idea is being generated, it is totally based on the valid evidences and the data, and it is iterative and adaptive. And the last one, it creates the meaningful impact. What is the entire purpose of innovation is the value creation, and at the end of, there is no end of the innovation, but for that particular specific cycle of the innovation, at the end what we are getting, the value creation. But there are some particular factors are there, whether there are internal factors, means which are there present in the organization or the enterprise, or there are some external factors, means the external environment where these factors are available, and those factors are influencing the innovations. So in that, first and foremost is your organizational culture. So now if the culture of your organization is like that, if you are bringing some kind of creative way, or you can say the idea to perform any task, or to come up with operations, new way of operations or the practices. So whether the organization is welcoming it or not, that is important. Whether the environment is being provided in the organization in a way where the employees or the part of that organization, those people are able to generate the innovative ideas or not, that is like there. And whether they are having that kind of, what you can say, the colleagues support or the entire culture, the culture of the organization, whether the culture of the organization is supporting the innovation within the organization or not, will leads to the final output, whether that particular organization is just going in a certain specified manner which they decided in the starting, or whether they are innovating themselves and they are growing with the trend or the with the trend and the market. So while you're talking about the organizational culture, whether that particular culture is able to provide the place or the environment to the employees or to the part of the individuals for the part of the organization to create and experiment the new things or not. Then leadership support. So for example, if we talk about any kind of organization, if you talk about in terms of the education, so if the leaders, they are supporting their faculties or their staff people who are managing from the behind to do the task in a innovative way or not, or whether they are appreciating them to perform the task or to do the things in an innovative way or not, or to come up with the new ideas or not, and whether they are providing the proper resources to come up with the innovation or innovative ideas or not, that is also influence the presence of innovation within the organization. Then technological development. So whether the, what you can say, the new technologies are coming in the market, so whether we can utilize those technologies for ease or for the efficiency of our product or not, and how that technological development is impacting the entire business, how the particular technological development is impacting the entire business or the business model, that also we have to see. And based on those technological development, whether it is leading to the disaster or it is leading to the new opportunities for coming up with the new creative ideas or not, that is also is impacting the innovation. And whether how well the individuals or the, we can say, the who are the part of the organization, how well they are skilled and how well they are capable to use those technological development for their innovation part or the innovative ideas. Then market competition. If there is too much market competition in the market, what will be happening? It will pressure the organization or the enterprise to come up with the new thing. For example, if we talk about in a small manner, if we see, So there was like one colony, only one grocery shop was there. So that time what was happening, whatever the a suitable price, from wherever the suitable price he is getting for to buy the all the products and at a wholesale rate, he was buying. Now after some certain period of time, what happened, another person also opened the grocery store in the same colony. So now what will be happening, there are two grocery stores within the same colony. So who's going to get the more customer, that will be based on the quality and the price of the products which are available in those grocery stores, correct? So now because of that pressure of the competition, the person who in earlier the A company or the A grocery store, whatever the product he was buying, now he will segregate the whether the he is getting the quality or whether he is getting the good product at the good price from at the wholesale rate, and from where he is getting, so from there only he will buy the product. And what are the needs, what are the trending items which users need, based by identifying those things only he will be able to gain the advantage in the market. So what happens, because of the competitive pressure, the people tend to do things in a new or unique or in a creative manner. Then financial resources, there are some like to do the innovative like to implement the innovative ideas or the creative ideas or the unique ideas, we need the resources, and in those resources, apart from human capital, we need the financial resources. So if we are not having sufficient fundings, we are not having adequate fundings, we are not having proper budget for the research and development, we are not having proper budget for the prototyping and for testing the product or the new process or the new service or the for upgrading the existing products or the services or the operations of the organization or the enterprises, what will be happening, they will not be lead, they will not be able to take the step towards that particular innovation or to implement that particular innovation or to generate even the idea, because at the end they know that we are not having sufficient budget or we are not having sufficient funding. So if we are not having sufficient funding, we are not going to able to implement our creative ideas. So what will be happening, they are going to restrict themselves to come up with some kind of unique or the creative ideas. And the last and the but the major part is the knowledge and the skill. So whether we are having the skilled employees and who are ready to share their knowledge with the others, who are ready to utilize their knowledge to come up with the creative ideas or not, that plays the role of innovation, introducing of the innovation in the organization. So these are the some factors. And now when we talk about here external and internal factors, so your organizational culture, leadership support, knowledge and skills, your financial resources, these are your internal, means your first, second, fifth and sixth, these are your internal factors, because these factors are present within the organization or within the enterprise, which are the internal part of the organization or the enterprise. And based on these things, what is happening, whether the availability of these things are there or not, the presence of these things are there or not, are influencing the innovation within the organization. While we talk about your external factors, those are the technological development and market competition, means your third and fourth. So these are the external factors which are not in the hand of the organization. They can't manage, they can't control these factors, but they can work based on the trends or the needs, or how to cope up with this kind of development or changes in the market. So innovation is a systematic process which involves the idea generation, then the screening of the idea and developing the concept, and after that creating the prototype and testing, and later part the implementation of that particular idea into the market, means the commercialization, and after the diffusion part means the adoption and the expansion of your business, again by doing the innovation in with the existing products or by introducing the altogether new product. And there are some certain factors which influence the innovation within the organization. In that, the internal factors are your organizational culture, leadership supports, and then your financial resources and the capabilities of your employees. While there are some external factors which are the technology development and the market competition, which influence the innovation within the organization. And if we are able to manage, or if we are able to do the required things to follow the entire innovation process in a proper way, we can get the favorable results for the organization as well as for the society, by creating the value for them and by providing them the competitive advantage and for the sustainable business growth. Thank you.